So, guys, as I said in the beginning, many of you weren't here. I shared in the reward channel this link on the forum about all posts on explaining source code in easy words, like explain me like I'm five kind of way, because it's kind of hard to understand how the parameters work, what cred is, what grain is. And if we are going to choose the parameters, we kind of need to understand how this works, at least on the basis. So to make like a quick summary and jump straight to the parameters, SourceCred has two main important values that measures the contributions. So one is the cred and the other one is grain. The cred is like the automatic value generated by every user through actions. And these actions are many among the platforms that they are Discord, Discourse, and GitHub. In our case, we are only considering GitHub and Discourse. So cred is all the time is generating cred, but this cred in the distribution at the end of every stage or every week or the time that we chose, this cred becomes grain, and grain is whatever token that we decide to distribute. In our case, it's the TC token, or when we did the distribution, the fake distribution months ago, we distributed honey. So every time, whatever action that you do will generate cred, and this cred will become grain every distribution time. Um, the cred, you can see it in your mind. You can picture like an image of different pipes, like it's a pipeline of water or whatever kind of liquid that is going to drip into different buckets. So your bucket is like your address, and how wide the address or your bucket is going to be determined by the multipliers and all of the parameters that we are going to choose. So everybody has like a connection to every pipeline that represents the actions on the different platforms. So we have to decide like how much uh, wide is going to be the pipe and the bucket for every action that almost everyone is going to be making. So if you make a commit in GitHub, or you handle a pull request, or you, I don't know, have many likes on Discord on a forum post, we are going to decide how wide you're going to get the credit, because the credit is a constant flux of value, and we just have to decide how much is going to be getting for a certain set of action. So that's like easy way to say it, to put it like that. Is like the best example that we found, and it's explained in that post. And you can see it like it's a pipeline with a constant flux of value that is water or whatever. And we have buckets, and how wide the bucket is and how much fluid is going through the pipes is the parameters that we are going to decide. So if you represent mathematically that pipeline, we can represent it as a graph with nodes and edges. Without going that theoretical, you can say that the buckets are the nodes and the pipelines are the edges. That it's the way that it's represented in here. So, for example, we have the configuration for Discord, for GitHub, and below the Discord one. We're going to ignore Discord for now. Let's focus on Discord and GitHub. So the node weights is like how wide the bucket is for every main action in the platform. In Discord, we have topics, posts, and likes. In GitHub, we have all of those: commits, comments, pull requests, actions in the repo, etc. And these numbers in the right represents the multiplier on how much or how much credit is going to be passing through that pipe. So how, well, no, this one is not the pipe. This one is the bucket. The pipes are represented as edges that are basically an action. So in this course, for example, this is our previous and current configuration. For the topics, we are having like 1/8 of multiplier on how much credit is going through there of the total amount, whatever amount that is. So if we put it in the top, it's going to 32 multiplier, but let's just keep it like that because I'm just saying that you can go from 0 to 32 in most of the cases. So in this particular case, talking generally without the numbers, we are giving more value to the post, and then we give more value to likes, and in the end, we give less or fewer value to the topics. This is going to be the main debate, and that's where we're going to be starting. We just have to see it like a balance, not thinking that much of the number, just like how fair do you imagine it. By the time that we start testing this, we have to give it a little bit of time, like months or at least 1 or 2 months, to see the if it makes any change on the distribution generally. In GitHub particularly, we decided that the issues and the comments are the ones that have value. Every other action won't have recognition on there. Uh, the bots, the commits, the pull requests, nothing. It's just how you handle the issues if you close it or if you create them. We decide those on the weight, on the edge weights. That basically um, have all of these actions that we're going to be checking in detail more. So just to begin the debate, for this course, for example, do we feel comfortable with this configuration? Do you guys think that we should giving more value to a particular
Mm,
action?
yeah. So I can see, like, if we kind of look at this by the amount of effort that goes into it. And so I'm assuming topic means like creating a post, and a post means a comment. Like, if that helps it understand it better.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a topic is a new heading, sort of a new.
Like, yeah. And so I think there's a lot more like effort that goes into creating a topic than somebody commenting on it, like exponentially more.
I think that's debatable because sometimes to respond to something, there is the whole process of reading and then having something to contribute, like being interested. There's a level of engagement there too. That maybe someone just creates a topic that nobody engaged with or people didn't think it was important.
There's also the other way. Like someone takes a great post and I just put someone people. Oh, that's great, fantastic, cheers, and that's it. That happened.
Uh,
Yeah.
I have an opinion about this. I think we should drop the post a lot. 4 times is a lot. You can just randomly comment and game the system. I think likes can be a good measure of the quality of the topic. So we just pump up the topic a little bit because if you look at the topics created, which is like a new conversation getting started, most of them, for example, were about hatch params. So it's like a lot of informative stuff going on there. So I feel like that should be higher up than posts. At least 4 times is a lot.
Yeah, I also agree that topics should be a bit above posts. Maybe not that much because there are very high quality responses, but as a rule of thumb, I think usually creating a new topic involves a bit more than just answering.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. I agree.
I know I'm
So
kind of new to this process, but I don't participate in discourse or the forum really, or through anything other than Discord. So I do wonder how sort of my choice to do that affects my ability to get cred through this system.
So
we gotta, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but we have to work with the tools we got. And so the people who are using Discord, we just have to really focus on what these values are going to be rather than getting a little bit too in the air.
Okay.
Yeah. Another way of responding to your question is that we don't use sourcecred for Discord just now because we use praise in Discord. So your activity in Discord can be and will be praised if you do contributions there. Then you will be praised for that, and automatic contributions will be tracked on Discord and GitHub.
Okay.
Just a matter of technicality, sort of, is I thought it might be good to get that out of the way. And I have the perception that we will not attempt to generate a TEC token distribution based on these settings, but instead we will calculate the cred and grain, and then based on the grain, we will in the RAD dashboard we will convert the grain to TEC tokens. So basically, if you have accrued 10% of the total amount of grain during a period, then you will get the 10% of the total amount of TEC tokens that we allocate for sourcecred during that period. Nagan, etc. Is that the way you see it as well?
Yeah, that's the way I see it too. Exactly.
Great. So then we don't have to try to adjust any settings to make sure that the grain distribution sort of is sort of plays nicely with the TEC token value or anything. So we just generate grain as a sort of dummy, as a way of calculating.
Yeah, I mean, the grain, we can set a name particular. It's always going to be TEC. It's just about how often we make the distributions, and every distribution, how much grain we're going to put in. So if every week, every 2 weeks, whatever, we decide to distribute 1,000 TEC, for example, that's going to have to relate to the current distribution that we make. They make it happen, or they recommend to make that happen at least every week, every Sunday, something like that.
But I think it will be best to keep it let it have the original name, grain, because that's what's used in documentation, etc. And that makes it also clear that what sourcecred delivers is not the final TEC token distribution, but it's just a grain score.
Yeah, because anyway, you have to put a name, because, for example, if you see here in the interface, we have the test cred. That it shouldn't be test cred. It should be test grain in the end. But that was what we decided months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you totally.
So going back to the so did we agree that post is, I think I already got lost in that discussion, but I think topic should be higher because that involves proposals as well.
Yeah,
so like
here
posts
it says,
can be any type of comment, but then topic is someone creating a proposal, creating a forum post, creating things. So I think that should be inverted, that value as it is now. And then likes should be like way less.
But just to understand how sourcecred work, will a node without any edges connected to it, will that generate any cred or grain, or does there need to be edges connected to a node for that to be grain and cred generated? And to express
theory,
it differently, do a topic needs to have likes or comments, etc., to start generating cred and grain?
Yeah, in theory, there is no chance that there are nodes without edges. It's supposed to be a complete graph. So yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the original one be like A author's topic B. And that's the original edge, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah, here is explained. For example, A post reply to beta. It basically gives credit to the one that make a reply, but it doesn't give like that value to the one that received the reply.
But in this case, we say that A topic is authored by B and A authors topic B. Both those are set to 0. So and that would mean that just writing a post, just writing a new topic would generate nothing. It is first when people start interacting with that topic
It's about the topic. We last time we gave more importance to the post, as we can notice, because if a post is authored by B, it's going to get some credit.
I've had a question.
So,
when we say likes in the top one, it's if someone gives likes, they get credit, or if someone receives like gets credit. It's not clear in the top one, like topic post like.
here, a post in some topic in a discourse instance. So basically, remember the analogy. This is the bucket. This is like the amount that finally gets to
No,
that general action.
I mean the like.
Okay, the like.
Okay, yeah, that's clear now. Thank you.
Okay. So if we decide,
I didn't really get it. So it means it is giving the like.
the edges is what defines what action is. This is in particular how much of the general credit is going to be given to that action in particular.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but the interaction per se is the values that the edges in the graph is going to get. So if you set like one multiplier of the whole cred to particular like, this like is going to be distributed this way.
Okay.
1% from A when it's liked by B, 0 when A likes B, and 1 when A like is created by B, and etc. All of the actions. It's kind of hard to sometimes understand the notation, but at least in the last upgrade, they tried to make like a short description there that is a little bit more clear. So basically, we have to relate whatever we decide here and make it make sense with all of the actions. So if we decide in the end of this call to make the topic have more value than the post, we also have to make that relating here. For example, the topic here is complete 0. So it shouldn't, for example.
Okay, thanks. I get it now.
So
Can we look at the dashboard too? Mateo, can you share it in the chat, please?
Which dashboard, sorry?
Like just this that you're looking at? Is it a way that we can look at you? Or it's just local to your computer?
Oh yeah, this is local because they removed that for security reasons, I think. You can try it out, but you have to run the instance. If you go to how was it? Yeah, commonsville github.io. This is the link. But you won't get that part. You just can see every account and how has it's been distributed. Yeah, sorry. But if you are interested in having it in your computer, it's really easy to have it running.
Okay, we can look into that later. Thanks.
Sure. So I don't know, guys. I think that the discussion in Discourse is particularly on decide how topic should have more value than the post or the likes. What's the general agreement?
I still feel that the topic should get more than the post.
Yeah, I feel the same.
Yeah, I agreed as well.
So setting like the same number just to keep it related with the past configuration. Let's say that the topic has a multiplier of 4 and we decrease the post one. How much do you think? To 1 or 2 or even less?
I think 2 sounds all right for me.
It was good.
Yeah.
And the likes is fine with 1 multiplier?
About a half.
Yeah, I was going to say half too.
Half.
You got it.
Even a fourth sounds good. Like seems so easy.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to game as well. So I think that the others configuration in here is fine. We just have to make the ones relating to the topics better. So it should be these ones. For example, connects an author to a topic they created. So basically, the topic is going to get cred. The author is going to get some cred when he creates a topic. Should we give it at least 1 multiplier in here or not? I believe that we should at least give it a 1
Yeah.
for the author.
And the one above, in what way does it differ? Am I slow here? A topic is authored by B. A author topic B.
If
That
you know
goes the
that,
other way.
Sorry?
What is that like?
Yeah, that goes the other way. So, like, if you have two nodes in a graph, one is how the grid flows forward, and one is how it flows backward. So, in this case, like, we won't want to, probably would not want it to go reverse. Like, we don't give credit to alpha topic, I guess.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Sorry, go ahead.
No. It's just difficult to understand. Like giving credit
Yeah.
to the actual topic without relating it to the author. It's difficult to understand what that would even mean.
It's complicated because as we mentioned, it's a complete graph. We have to set a value for every connection. So if you post or make a topic, the topic also has like this another edge that is saying, okay, I was created by someone. So for example, in this case, it doesn't make much sense because it doesn't relate for two persons. It just relate a bucket with a person. So the flow of the cred should only go one way when you're interacting with one action. So if you create a post, you should get in that cred, but you shouldn't be getting it because of the post was created. It's like a double way kind of thing.
It was easier to understand. I read an example when they were talking about a restaurant. You know, by the one example we looked at, when there's the one person is acting as a server and the other one is acting as a diner. I guess that the cred could go both ways. The act of serving, you can generate cred, and the act of being served can also generate cred. Sort of.
Could we like test the parameters somehow? I think that would be more intuitive.
Yeah. So I would say that either one in here is going to give value. If you guys said 1 in here or 1/4, I don't know, but we should keep a 0 in the other one.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Should we run over just the ones that are obvious, and then the ones that we have questions, we wait to talk to like Has or someone from sourcecred?
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. This one is about the contain. I think that's okay to keep it like it was. A is like post within topic. So if a post is like and it belongs to a topic, it should get some credit. I think that's right. I think I agree.
Does alpha refer to a post over here?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Is alpha a post?
Yeah, it's a
And
post that was liked, and the topic is B.
so if a
Beta.
cred goes towards the post, does it goes towards the post's author?
Yeah, it goes to the post author.
All right. And the one below it, alpha has post with likes beta. That's at 0.
So every time, basically, yeah, the likes a post gets is going to generate some cred, basically. But we are already giving a like in other interactions, so it shouldn't have any. That's why it's in 0. Because if whatever A is, alpha, sorry, and whatever beta is going to have a 1 multiplier.
Do you understand right that the one that is set to 0 is that alpha is referring to the topic? So when some posts inside the topics get likes, the mother post gets also some cred.
Not as simple as that, unfortunately. I think because we have topics and we have posts and we have 3 nodes. And I think the edges are connected to all these 3 kinds of nodes. So the descriptions of the edges is kind of vague sometimes. So when A creates like B, does that mean that that covers both topics and comments?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we should go with what Livy said. That just go with the obvious one and just send it to someone else in SourceCred to give us a review and help us. We already know some guys over there.
Yeah,
I mean, sorry, go ahead, Christopher.
Many of these are set to 1, and going with 1 is quite easy. So deviating from 1 would be where we need to discuss it. 1 it could be seen as a 1 on or off switch. Do we want to generate cred for this action at all? Then we put it to 1, and then if we really have an opinion that then we should discuss if we should deviate from 1.
Yeah, I think that's the real debate, because in the end, it's how wide is going to be the flow with those actions. So yeah, I would say that we can keep it like this. In the end of the call, I will save the weight, like it says in here. And it gives me a file that anyone interested afterwards can download the instance and run it if they want to play around with it. But yeah, I'm gonna be saving it just in case we decide to go with it in the end. So we are like running out of time, but in 15 minutes, I think that we can talk about the ones in GitHub, because yeah, there are some interesting details in there as well. So do you guys like how this looks? Do you have any idea if we should deviate the multiplier a little bit more on some action, or what do you think? Just before moving to GitHub.
I think it's really difficult to envision how this will play out. So my general opinion is that let's set some like reasonable basic settings, and then be thorough and be sure to evaluate and adjust them after like the first grain distributions.
Yeah, that's why the first recommendation that the SourceCred team gave us was to set one whatever configuration we decide to, and see if the distributions relates to that. If everyone feels like it actually shows the value that was generated in that time, it's it's working. If it's not, we should make and tweak a little bit wherever we feel is wrong.
But
Because, as you say, it's complicated.
can we manually set the grain distribution periods when we do the retroactive work? Because we have data that is old, and we need to, it's the same as in the praise system, we need to work our way through the backlog, sort of. Or so could we start from, or let's say that we have all the data for 2021. Could we start with doing a grain distribution for January 2021 and see how that looks, and then allow more and more?
Yeah, we can do that. The cred is constant. It's always generating cred every second. The grain, we have the chance to decide how to distribute it and how often and how much, of course. And also we have like a parameter that says how much is being given to all contributors against the recent ones. For example, you came around just 2 weeks ago and you did amazing work. We can decide if this person can get or should get more grain than the person that has been contributing from since 6 months ago, but just happens that this past month was a little bit slow on the work or didn't do much. That's also an important parameter that we should discuss. Maybe not in this call. So yeah, for GitHub is kind of straightforward. We only have right now for issues and comments, actions on that. If you
I
believe,
have a question regarding to that. Like, a comment is rated 2 times, but a commit isn't counted. But like, isn't the purpose of putting source cred in is to track things that can't be tracked? So, for example, commits and pull requests, they do add value. I think they do. Like, for example, Christopher made updates to the praise front end. Those won't be counted inside issue or comment. Those will be counted inside commit or pull request.
Yeah, but I guess that in that case, I could also structure my work and make sure that there is an issue connected to the work I'm doing, so that when I do a commit, or when someone does a commit, that it should close a commit, or a pull request should close an issue.
Yeah, that also makes sense. But like, most people don't do that. Most people just straight commit, as from what I've seen. But yeah, if you're using that workstream, then this works.
And I sort of agree. It's easier to spam the system with comments than it is to spam the system with commits, because commits put a lot of more strict requirements on what you do. So it's easier to game the comment system than the commit system.
So do you say that we should swap the multiplier on comment against commit? So a 2 multiplier for commits and 0 to comments, or should we keep it lower even?
I'm leaning towards this 1-1-1 situation. Do we want to track it? Let's give it a 1. But maybe we shouldn't change it. I guess we have to balance it against the discourse as well. So if we have like topics are 4 times the weight, and we give GitHub issues 1 times the weight, then it will always be much more worth to write a forum post than a GitHub issue with the same content. So
I think there's a lot less thought and effort that goes into creating GitHub issues. Like, there's more grammar, there's more editing and stuff, and it's more rigorous, I think, when people make a well thought out discourse topic than a GitHub issue.
Agreed.
I have one question about pull requests. Does the source cred assign value if the pull request gets implemented, or just if you open it?
Yeah, here is everything. If it's being
okay.
author, if it's a child of another thing, if it's a parent, or if it's merged.
It's merged. Okay, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think we shouldn't give more time to the edge. I think it's really cool and balanced, uh, and maybe it's hard to modify right now. So we should focus on the weights, on the nodes. Maybe, I don't know.
I think when we did that before, we were giving more, we were thinking more of like how the stewards use GitHub, but I think it would be really cool to think more of how developers use GitHub, because I think they receive the less praise.
Yeah, I was thinking because definitely a pull request and a review should be worth something, I think. Not
Yeah.
just zero.
Yeah, definitely review. That is like quite difficult to fake or game, or if it's a
Yeah, totally, because there should be a pull request in the first instance.
Could this be like customized based on repos? Like for example, we use the coordination repo for mm, managing things. Could we put different parameters for that repo, and then the rest of the organization works on different parameters? That way we can have like an ideal situation, like the developers get more credit for their commits and all those things, and the rest of the people that are using it for coordination get ranked based on that.
just pointing out the difficulty of maintaining something that needs a lot of administration. Like when we create a new repository, we would need to do a lot of changes to the settings. That is usually difficult to maintain. When I started looking at our sourcecred instance, I saw that we were only tracking like 3 out of, I don't know, 20 GitHub repositories. So that is like the most basic thing, to add new repositories to the configuration when we create them. And I think that will be difficult enough to do, remember doing. So it sounds difficult to me.
Yeah, I agree as well. And I'm also not sure if for the same source code instance we can handle that for different repos. I think it's the same configuration for all the repos.
All right.
But I'd like to propose that we give pull requests and commits some weight, at least. Give them once as well, and also consider. Like, Mitch, I agree that it takes a lot more effort to write a topic in the forum, mostly at times, than writing an issue. But is it like 4 times? But it also depends on the edge weight, so it's difficult to say if just because it says four times, if it would generate like for the 4 times the amount of cred and grain.
Well, so issue is all the actions that involve an issue, right? So closing an issue would be an action that is involved with issue, and it's probably more valuable than creating an issue.
Yeah, but I think most of the times when an issue gets closed, it will be because there is a pull request linked to it, closing it. So you can close issues because there is a pull request, or just because you decide it's not an issue anymore, or it's going to stay like that or whatever, and that's 2 different things. So I guess the one with the work of closing it is probably tied to a pull request. So I think that's we can work on the edges there to kind of model that. I hope, at least.
Yeah, that's the challenge, because also the sprint plannings involve issues. So like closing an issue from a sprint planning means that work was done, but maybe part of that work being done was also praised. So maybe we don't need to focus so much on that.
Just the action itself of manipulating the issue more, not necessarily the work inside of it.
I think like the merge settings can probably be increased, and that would like address all of the concerns. Because if we're using pull requests for code, then that satisfies itself.
Yeah. Yeah, a merge is always some kind of substantial contribution.
Yeah, so should we give more time to the weight? Giving a look, what do you guys think we should focus on? Um, I don't see one that says closed, but the one that says merges, I think it makes a little bit of sense. But essentially, it's the same as the pull request. I think it only relates to the pull request. So closing an issue doesn't actually provide value here. I think it's more related to the pull request and the merge.
Mm-hmm.
I think the alpha is merged by beta can be maybe ramped up to 1 because
This one, yeah.
yeah, because I think that's the pull request that someone
Mhm.
created that got merged, and the one below it is someone merging it in. So both those probably create equivalent. I don't know.
Which one this? The alpha merges beta?
Yeah, I think it's fine to keep these equal. Is it just me or is this slightly vague? This dashboard. I feel like the examples in the API were more uh, s- understandable in this.
Yeah, because it only references alpha and beta, and it doesn't like specifically say what which nodes alpha and beta represent in each case. So it becomes really, yeah, leaves out a lot to your intuition or imagination.
Yeah, I think it would help a lot if it just specified every time what exactly alpha or beta are supposed to be, like topic A or user A or whatever.
Yeah, specifically, yeah, agreed. But I guess in certain cases it could be either or. Like alpha likes beta. Could it be like a user likes a topic, user likes a comment, and it's the same edge type. So it actually is the same edge type you set the weight for that covers many node types.
But I guess even in that case, it would make sense to have like 2 separate lines or something, right?
Yeah, and when they developed the plugin, they could have chosen to make 2 separate edges for that. One edge edge between topic and like, and one between comment and like. But they've chosen to make one edge to cover many types of nodes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think specifying at least what the subject of the sentence is would help.
Yeah, agreed.